You may be getting some alerts and things of that nature as the severe thunderstorm warning has been extended. So we'll leave Justin in the upper left-hand corner. Sorry, we're having some trouble on and off. We just kicked and punted the ball down the field there a little bit.
There's a tornado warning.
There it is. Yes, indeed. So we've got two things to watch here once again. Bringing one more thing open here. And do this. Okay, so this is the storm that Justin is on. Tornado warn. This is going to include areas from Decent, Fosterville. There is Manchester Highway. So this is a brand new tornado warning, and this is going to be in effect for the next hour. And Justin has the video of it right there, looking into that storm. You can definitely see the lowering there in the video that he's showing us. And now we have meteorologist Ray Miller joining us, and lo and behold, we have a new tornado warning.
Yeah, it's actually Regina
Hi.
updates now. We continue to have that tornado warning. We're watching that cell right now that is ongoing right now. To the south of Rutherford County, we have that cell. To the north of Shelbyville, we're having that radar indicator rotation right now, moving to the northeast. And we have that for portions of far southeast Rutherford County included now in that tornado warning. And that is set to expire later on tonight because we have that radar indicator rotation moving in. That will expire at 7:15 p.m. tonight, but it's really that far southeast corner included in that as the storm is going to move out of that area, move into far southeast Rutherford County, and that storm showing that radar indicator rotation as it continues to do so. And so bell buckles in the path of the storm as the storm continues to lift to the northeast.
Okay, Regina, thank you very much. And it's Kroll, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, very good. I saw it pop up there and wanted to make sure I didn't say it the wrong way. So, Regina, thanks for the update. Weatherology meteorologist Regina Kroll joining us with an update here as Ray is got some well-deserved time away now, has finished his shift. So we're back dealing and juggling with two things here in Rutherford County. We're dealing with the storms that are coming in down I-24 toward Laverne, Smyrna. You are up next. And if we look at the velocity product on this, we can see where you've got the definite winds. This is more indicative of a straight line wind. Looks like maybe those higher winds may be coming up into the Lebanon area. But nonetheless, so now we have to make sure we keep our attention down here. Fosterville, Beechwood. This is a very small sliver of Rutherford County. The storm moving off to the east. Just look at the radar here. 1, 2, 3, 4 tornado warnings going on right now, and now a big severe thunderstorm warning. If you know someone in Auburn Town, we had quarter-size hail a few minutes ago. I wanted to pull up and show you some photos. Emergency shelters are now, they have been open here for a while, so that is good news. And if you didn't know that we had emergency shelters, if you're familiar with the new emergency facilities that have been built here in the county, let's see, Rockvale, Walter Hill, Lascassas, Kittrell, Plainview soon. Here is I'm a little gun shy on things now. I have to watch and make sure the stream is still going on everything. This is some trees down in the Blackman area, as reported from to the National Weather Service. And let's see. That's not hail from here. This would be of interest, of course, to Justin, because he is on this storm. This is an aerial view from Bedford County EMA looking into that storm that's affecting southern Rutherford County and why we have the tornado warning now.
Right, I'm due west of this area of rotation. Now, there's not a road option for me to stay with it, but there's not much rain on the back side, so I got a pretty good look at it still. And just in case it does produce, I'll be able to see it for a little bit longer. So I figured I'd park right here and just watch it for a minute.
Yep, we've got your view pulled up full and can definitely see. Do you happen to know close to where, how close you are to Rutherford County here?
I'm right at the Shelbyville Airport right now.
Okay, that gives us a great idea. So the northern extent of this storm may affect Fosterville, in that area. But now we are looking. Going to let our attention go to the northern part of the line that is beginning to move in down 24. Laverne, you've got some rain, but very heavy rain, winds, and some small hail possible. Will be moving in very shortly. So this is for our severe thunderstorm warning, and that is in effect for the next 28 minutes. We also have now a flash flood warning for western Rutherford County, and this is in effect for until 9:30 for this flash flood warning. It includes Murfreesboro, Smyrna, Laverne, Walter Hill, Eagleville. So there you go with that. Also, good news from the National Weather Service. Meteorologist in charge, Chrissy Hurley, going to work toward removing some counties from the tornado watch behind the line. Obviously, with the storms, they've got to come through before they can start trimming. But we're talking, Dixon, Clarksville, in that area. But just miles away, coming down 24 toward Laverne, will be a very big gust of wind likely with that. Reminds me to bring up our Middle Tennessee electric map here for you. We've been keeping an eye on the outages for Rutherford County. So let me pull that over for you to see and tell you about. We're up to about 1,000 customers without power in the area of Old Nashville Highway, just past 840. Okay. So outages by county, we're up to 1,300 here in Rutherford County. So around 840 on either side of 840 is kind of where we're seeing the highest concentration of some of the outages. And where we had the tornado warning, it's Rucker Road, Woodfin Road, kind of in that area. We've got about 4 customers without power there, but that shows where the storm came through. And then almost over into Cannon County, near the Big Springs area. So that's where our highest concentration of outages. There are some out toward Lascassas Pike too, but the greatest numbers are right around Old Nashville Highway going toward Smyrna. As you go on the Old Nashville Highway, or Northwest Broad at that point, I guess, continuing past 840 before you get to Florence Road. Got a big outage in that area. Okay. That's a little bit on the power outages. So MTE's, they Wilson, Williamson, and Rutherford, the highest concentration by far, 1,300 of the 2,100 are in Rutherford County. Back to radar. Laverne,
Brian,
here it comes. Yes, sir.
I can't see the base of this storm anymore, but that is a very wide lowering that's just over the tree lines there. Obviously, I can't see if anything's on the ground or not anymore, but radar presentation on the storm is quite impressive. And if velocities tick up a little bit, I would be quite concerned about the potential this cell has. I just have no way of keeping up with this one. In the meantime, what are my odds of making it back to Las Casas before this line hits?
Uh, not without breaking all kinds of speed laws, I wouldn't think.
Okay, that's what I was afraid of.
The line is in Laverne, but we've had a little bit of activity push out even further ahead. So Amoville, Blackman, and Las Casas is on the outer edge of this, but I would think it's going to take you 40 minutes or so to get there, if not longer.
Yeah, I'm 40, 45 at least.
Yeah. I would think you're going to run right into it. So,
all right,
let's go.
We'll see what she's got.
Yeah. We'll keep an eye on his video there. And meteorologist Regina Kroll joining us as well to give us an update. And we are seeing the storm push into Rutherford County now that's severe warned, Regina.
Yeah, we are watching that severe keeping with its intensity. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, quarter-size hail, still with that line of storms. It's a fairly large line of storms too. Central Rutherford County still included in that severe thunderstorm warning until 7 p.m. tonight. So we are looking at that moving in. Not only is it bringing that possibility of those very strong winds as it pushes in and possibly some large hail too, we do have that ongoing very heavy rain with some of the storm activity. We've already seen some of that heavy rain in portions of Rutherford County, and we are going to pick up more rain as this line of storms moves in. And then we are watching the separate cell we were talking about earlier, too, that is going to clip the far southeast portion of Rutherford County. Now, that cell has that radar indicated rotation right now, and far southeast Rutherford County in that tornado warning for that radar indicated rotation. That storm now showing our classic, what we call a hook echo. And with that, that shows us that there's a high likelihood that it could produce a tornado at any time. So if you are in far southeast Rutherford County, make sure you're in your safe spot. That tornado warning goes until 7:15 p.m. tonight. As that storm continues to move to the east, right near Bell Buckle right now, will enter far southeast Rutherford County probably within the next 10 minutes or so. So if you are included in this, make sure you're in your safe spot. I'm weatherology meteorologist Regina Kroll.
Thanks, Regina, for the update. And that is exactly where Justin was moments ago, meteorologist Justin Bailey, and was giving us a look at the lowering on that storm. And, it was hard to see, but I mean, gosh, it was down to the ground, it looked like. Not saying that it was a tornado, but we're talking about the lowering of the clouds and a big base there. So very far southeastern corner of Rutherford County. I mean, this is going to barely clip.
Correct.
So coming up on Bell Buckle
Yeah,
now.
that's correct. That's
Yeah.
very impressive supercell. The best structure I saw yesterday.
So Walker Road, Lee Road, some of these roads are going to go into Rutherford County. 24 at Beech Grove coming up on that area, and of course that clips our far little corner of the county. So if you live along Manchester Pike as you go into Beech Grove, like Jake Branch Road, the Beech Grove Country Store, some of these things are just over the line, but just kind of giving you an idea of where this storm is. Just taking a look at some of the different information here. Let's go back up to the northern portion of the county. So the storm has pushed into Laverne. Very heavy rain falling right now. Not seeing a ton of lightning, but there is definitely some lightning within this. Coming up on The Smyrna Golf Course, right now, we just had a radar update. So that's where it is. Roadway Inn and Suites. Loafers Corner, Toots, that's Sam Ridley Parkway. Okay. So right there around Sam Ridley Parkway, there's Smyrna Municipal Golf Course. It'll be very soon coming up on the Walmart Supercenter, and that would be Enon Springs, Nissan Assembly Plant, Smyrna Airport. Really kind of coming to the south and east down 24. We do have some rain that has popped out ahead of this. Amaville, Creekside, Florence. But where we are warned, it is for the line, and I need to not forget you folks up in the far northern corner, just south of Gladeville, Sandhill, Morrow, some of the areas where we're seeing the storms. Nicole on Facebook says it is over the Smyrna Airport. Some of the roads in the very southern part, I mean, it is the smallest part of Rutherford County that it's going to come through. There are a few little neighborhoods. Manson Hollow Road, I know I mentioned that. There's Hoover's Gap Frontage Road, Chadwick Cemetery, Dimsel Hollow Road. But that rotation may track a little to the south of the county. We'll see. Checking on our reports from the National Weather Service, not saying a ton there for us. And let's go back up here to the line of storms coming in. See where some of the high winds could be. Do a little sampling of some of that. And not seeing anything that's overly shouting, you know, here is a huge wind bag. There are some definite winds that would be severe criteria, small hail, but this was just kind of a huge blanket warning as this line begins to make its way. And it's moving to the east at 55, so about as fast as anything has been moving today. So we are down to two tornado warnings. If you know anyone down in Huntsville, as we're just kind of talking here, downtown Huntsville is about to get hit by an observed tornado. PDS warning down there for that. Lots of blinking and flashing on what you can see here on radar. I know that doesn't mean a lot to the folks that are listening on radio, but we are trying to kind of cover all of our bases. Seeing some definite damage to vehicles from the hail. Flooding reported in Metro Nashville, so that's coming with this line, okay? And they did trim some of the tornado watch out. So where is the rain and the leading edge of what could be some damaging winds? Coming into some of the communities like Oak Valley, Valley Green Acres, Terrytown Estates, Quail Ridge. Soon for Blackman, Siegel, downtown Murfreesboro as this line continues its progression. You've been in the rain for a while. I haven't talked about this. I know Regina mentioned it, but I need to make sure that we understand. I did mention it earlier, but Western Rutherford County, flash flood warning. And this continues So, very heavy rain, of course, in our area. That reminds me to let's just take a peek at our road closure map. And not seeing anything right now. This is from Rutherford County Emergency Management. I'm sure that may be updated a bit. A tour of some of our cameras. This is downtown Murfreesboro, looking off, a little brightening of the skies, but this is not, I mean, we've got the storms making their way into the county. That's not the one that I wanted. This would be Siegel looking off to where those storms are coming in, Smyrna, Laverne area. They did trim this severe thunderstorm warning off a little bit too. So it's just they've taken the Davidson County portion out of that, it looks like. Just a few views that we have for you there. And there's Justin making his way back north into Rutherford County. Just a few of the things that you can see here. Our severe thunderstorm warning is going to run for another 14 minutes. I would suspect that we'll see that maybe extended a little bit because we are rapidly approaching 7 o'clock. We've got 14 minutes left. Here's some good news from the National Weather Service meteorologist in charge, Chrissy Hurley. Looks like the main line of storms is on the downward trend. Don't think we will be reissuing severe for the main line. So how about that? So nix what I said just a moment ago.
That kind of matches what I believe it was Ray was saying. Because of all the rain cooled air now in Rutherford County, there's a lot less instability. So the line of storms isn't able to maintain its intensity.
So it may be by the time we get to the top of the hour and 7 o'clock, we are warning free, except for the flash flood warning. So that would be some good news. Gives me a chance, that it always makes you feel better when those people who, are the ones in charge of issuing watches and warnings and that kind of thing and watching for storms and, the meteorologists at the National Weather Service do a great job. And to see them kind of hamp down things, bring things down a little bit, lets us go from being high alert and really totally focused in on the weather to be able here in the next few minutes to gather some reports, see if we've got any photos. If you've got some that you want to share with us, maybe some hail, we'd love to have those. Number one, what we do with those is send them to the National Weather Service. And we send them to the National Weather Service so they can, look back and study, well, the radar showed we had this size hail, and this is what we were seeing in those areas. So these reports are very, very important. So if you want to share those with us, you can go send those, email those, rutherfordwx@gmail.com, or just tag us in our socials that you're watching right now. Regina Kroll joins us, meteorologist, to give us an update. We were just talking, Regina, about the fact that the National Weather Service says they will likely not continue the severe warning for this line of storms after this warning expires.
Yeah, it is showing some signs of weakening right now as it continues to push to the east, but we are still seeing that storm continuing to go on. It's set to expire in about 10 minutes, so that severe thunderstorm warning still in effect for central Rutherford County until 7 p.m. tonight. But as you mentioned, that possibility of them not extending that because the storm is showing some signs of maybe some weakening. Right now, it's just above severe limits, but it's likely going to continue to weaken as it moves to the east. That severe thunderstorm warning, though, still in effect until 7 p.m. Tonight, we are still watching also that tornado warning. It goes until 7:15 p.m. for southeast Rutherford County, but that storm now has cleared that area. I think they'll likely drop southeast Rutherford County from this tornado warning pretty soon here as we continue to see that storm now moving into Coffee County and that rotation also moving into Coffee County too.
Yeah, they just kind of redrew the polygon there, and they are going to continue the tornado warning for no, it is canceled for southeastern Rutherford County. So they just took us out of that warning. So that is good news there as well. It seems like things are on a downward trend a bit. I did want to focus, Regina, with you on one thing that you mentioned in your last update, and something that we need to keep in mind. The western portions of Rutherford County have a flood warning for the next 3 hours or so in effect. So that's maybe the next thing that we need to be kind of watching for.
Absolutely, yeah. Continued heavy rain leading to that flooding, and there has been flooding observed in that area, according to emergency management. Several roads closed due to that flash flooding in Williamson County right now. But we continue to see those storms packing some very heavy rains coming down very quickly with these line of storms that are continuing to push through.
Okay, thank you very much. Meteorologist Regina Kroll joining us here on Rutherford Weather. And some good news for Smyrna,
I would
Laverne,
say
Murfreesboro. Yeah, Justin?
one thing I would be used to during every now and then, like the tail end storm on the line will want to rotate a little bit. So kind of monitoring that area around Eagleville at the tail end of that line for some possible rotation. If anything were to spin up anywhere else, that'll probably be the targeted area.
Okay. Thanks for drawing our attention there. Velocities, maybe just a little bit there. So we will see. That is actually part of the storm that's not in the particular severe thunderstorm warning at this point. So, but definitely something to watch. We're not going to be in the clear here for a little bit in terms of nothing can happen. We've got to get this whole thing out of here. There maybe are a lot of folks that are visiting Rutherford County. I know this is the week for the high school spring sports championships, and they take place in Rutherford County, and our population grows by over 40,000 people. Baseball and softball were both nixed for today. They did play some of the soccer at Richard Siegel Soccer Park, but I think they moved some of that indoors, and tennis as well. So, but a lot of folks here in our county. But if you're from other parts of Tennessee, you certainly know and have dealt with severe weather, but you may not know some of the areas that we're talking about. So, um, always know where you are in relation to, if you're staying on Medical Center Parkway in a downtown Murfreesboro area in a hotel, well, you kind of need to know that, right? Um, if you have friends, family that are in the southeastern quadrant of Middle Tennessee, they still have some weather to get through until this line pushes in. There's a new tornado warning for Van Buren County that's coming out, a reissuance there. So, still some pretty angry storms that will continue off to the east. I can't tell you the number of warnings that we've had this afternoon. It has been quite a few. Let me see here. I did want to talk a little bit about check in on our MTE outage map to see how things are going there. Let me pull this over here for you. And in Rutherford County, 605. It was 1,300 a minute ago, right? Remember? Last time we checked. And they're down to 1,700 total in their Cannon, Rutherford, Wilson County area. So hard at work are our friends at Middle Tennessee Electric. Still the area around on Murfreesboro. Well, it's not Murfreesboro Road there. It's Northwest Broad. Before you get to Florence Road, right around the Roselawn Memorial Gardens. That's where we have the highest concentration of about 355 without power in that area right now. The darker blue dots, that's anywhere from 100 to 500. There's another area off Sulphur Springs Road between 840 and Florence Road. You got about 117 without power there. The lighter blues, that could be anywhere from 1 to 100. But again, in Rutherford County, latest update, 605. So that is an update from Middle Tennessee Electric. This is a look at radar. Amaville, it's pushing as pushed through there. Will our line of storms will begin to push into the Blackman area. Northern severe warning is about to be canceled. Just not looking severe anymore. Our this warning goes for another 4 minutes. I don't think they're going to cancel that, but I also believe that they may not reissue. Justin brought our attention down to the southern end of that line, something that you want to kind of keep up with, and it looks like that line has grown further south. And yeah, maybe a little bit of wind activity there, but we'll just have to keep an eye on that, and hopefully it will be further south of Eagleville. Before our warning goes away, we'll take a camera tour.
I know it's not Rutherford County, but just to re-update folks on that tornado warning that was for southern parts of Rutherford County. Looks like tornado genesis is probably imminent just north of Manchester. Yeah, that rotation's gotten really strong.
Yeah, I was just looking at that. And we all have neighbors down in this area. So this is moving toward Morrison and Midway, but it is definitely maybe the southern portions of Cannon County, but I think the rotation is a little further south than that. We have had some rain pop up ahead here in Rockvale down toward Christiana. This is just general winds, thunderstorms, not a whole lot of lightning within this at all. There's one lightning strike along 840 near Tryon, but that's about it. So when this in 3 minutes pushes off our severe thunderstorm warning, I think that will allow us a time to sit back a little bit, kind of take a look at some of the damage reports. And again, to remind you, if you have any trees down, any hail reports, you can send those to rutherfordwx@gmail.com or just hit us up on our socials here, and we'll try to get some of those on the stream. We will leave the video going for a while. This is very interesting photo here. Okay. This is a photo. Blackman Road at East Calgary Road. And you can see, whoops, that's too much. You can see lots of trees down there. The report is dozens of trees and power lines down, multiple structures with light damage. This damage continues to line up with the I-24 at mile marker 72 blockage as well. So this is when we were tracking the tornado warning in Rutherford County. So that is definitely one to save. So those are the type of reports that we'll continue to look for and get you some updated information. That's the importance. This is kind of a weather community, if you will. You don't need to see that. Where we send information to the National Weather Service. It's important to get this info out. So, and that's what we will do with whatever you send us. Should see this warning go away any moment now. And there it goes. Bye bye. So, with that being said, we've got storms pushing through. We're going to leave the radar going here. Going to just do a little behind the scenes inspection, but we have no warning in effect. We are still under the tornado watch. That tornado watch goes for another 3 hours. They are trimming some of that back. This line has to go through. National Weather Service has to feel confident before they start trimming counties that there's not going to be a threat. Okay. So the northern part of that storm that was coming through, they did extend that from Lebanon to Cookeville, severe warned. But in Rutherford County, we have a flash flood warning, and that is it at this point. So that will allow me for a moment here to transition radio back to our regular programming. Let me turn that off so you don't hear the echo. Thanks for joining us. If you were joining us on radio, 1019, 100.5, WGNS, AM 1450. Been around since 1947. If you're unfamiliar with WGNS radio, we invite you to check it out. Those of you watching on the video here might be unfamiliar with our local radio station that does a lot of great things here. I've actually worked there for 30 years, trying to keep our community informed. So it is, speaking of that,
I know the severe thunderstorm warning just got dropped, but this is an impressive shelf cloud coming over the area.
Yeah. Give you a view of
I'm right
that.
here by MTSU, Greenland, and MTSU Boulevard right now.
Got to see get radio back on line here, and let's see, it's Braves baseball that is coming up here for you. So give me just a moment to take care of that. And again, if you want to continue listening or watching our coverage, if you've been listening, it's WGNS Radio. Our listeners there, Rutherford Weather, RutherfordWX.com. That's where you can find it. But now back to our normal programming right here on WGNS. Okay. Make sure I don't continue to hear myself on radio, and I don't. So there we go. Okay.
To get really dark on my feet.
Yep, I've got you up here full. So this is Justin looking into that line of storms. He's looking into that line of storms that is upon Whitehaven and Manson Park, Battleground Estates, downtown. That's another portion of the storm. Let's take you around to a couple of the cameras here. That's looking off. Looking off to the north and east. Here's the Siegel area. Downtown Murfreesboro, the look there, and you can definitely see those clouds coming in. And Justin, as he is coming in, traveling toward the Las Casas area. So you can see his video in the upper left hand right above me. So you're going to hear the winds pick up. I can hear the wind picking up here. This could be enough to bring down a few limbs and things of that nature.
I'm surprised they didn't at least put a special weather statement on it. They just dropped everything.
Yeah, the northern part of the storm that moved through Davidson County, that is in Wilson County, they did continue the severe on that in the northern part, but just dropped it here to the south. So I'm not sure. In retrospect, there will be some work by the National Weather Service. I'm sure they will be in Rutherford County. Showed you a moment ago. Blackman Road at East Calgary Road, where we had some structural damage. Let's see if I can pull that up here. Blackman Road. Leesboro. Okay. Radar is going to take me right down to Blackman Road. So it's Blackman Road at East Calgary. Not sure if I will be able to find that within the map here, but that was right around 840. And that's Veterans Parkway, right? No, that's Blackman Road. There's Veterans. So between Veterans and 24 is where we had that report of downed trees, and then we had trees blocking the road around 24. So that kind of corresponds when we were doing our coverage of the tornado warning. Could just be winds, but we definitely had some storm damage. Let's see. Someone asking how we're looking in the borough. Looking okay here in the borough. Going to have storms come through. Got to keep our eye out on it, of course. Let's see. I've seen a few things on Twitter.
Yeah, it looks like just general thunderstorms with some gusty winds for the next couple hours for Murfreesboro and Rutherford County.
Looks like that storm that Justin was on that kind of barely clipped the area. They're going to continue that warning, and man, is it a big warning. It's going to include Coffee, Warren, Van Buren, and Grundy counties. So that's the tornado warning cell that we were making sure did not cause any problems in southern portions of the county. Let's see. A storm report just in. Multiple structures with light damage and dozens of trees and power lines down 5 miles south of Smyrna. So I have a feeling that is near the Roselawn Memorial Gardens, because that's where we had a high concentration of power outages at one time, remember? So let's see what we can see here on the X machine. See if we can see any photos, damage reports. Here is, let me see if I can open it in another window. So here is that damage report that I just mentioned. Multiple structures, light damage, dozens of trees down at about 5:17. So some of these reports are going to be delayed. Obviously, people want to make sure that they're okay and can get out and take a photo of it and then report it to the National Weather Service. I mean, that all of that takes a little bit of time.
Hey, Brian, I'm going to let you wrap things up, but I'm going to shut down on my end.
Okay. Sounds good. I appreciate all the work today, from being in the office to traveling all around Rutherford County. Appreciate it. I think we did some good stuff today, hopefully, for folks.
And for everybody, stay safe. Have a good evening.
All right. That is meteorologist Justin Bailey signing off. Appreciate his work today. Appreciate Bryan sending me a few messages. I have like 26 text here too. So sorry about some of the connection problems that we had as well here on the video stream. Part of one of the programs that we use to do video streaming, I think they pushed out an update which then shut down the stream because it looks different than it did before. Like completely different. So I think that's part of what happened. And then that was a chain reaction of trying to come back on, then it would stay on for a minute and pop off. I mean, we've been doing this for about a year and a half. We're still learning things, and thank you for being patient. See Seeing if we can see any additional reports. I'm kind of scrolling through. It's just us here chit-chatting. We've got storms in the county, yes. But these are not severe warned. I'll check a few of your comments here in just a second as well. Here we go. Here we go. All right, let me pull up this report. This is going to be on Facebook. Some reports from Murfreesboro Fire and Rescue. So, reports of a tree on a roof on the second story Kindness Way around 5:30. No injuries. Family was safe inside. Reports of trees and cable lines down Florence Road at Valor Road. Tree limbs falling on a car on Florence Road, but the driver drove away before the emergency crews arrived. Murfreesboro Fire and Rescue responded to Broad Street, where 2 trees fell across the road, and some flooding. So here is the tree onto the house. Another view of that. All right, let me take those away. And this is that Valor Road where the power line was down. See that? And the road there. And there was one more, I think. And this was some of the flooded roadway that I mentioned a second ago. So that's a report from Murfreesboro Fire and Rescue. That was around Haley Road. And Haley Road is in that area along Northwest Broad, right before you get to Roselawn Memorial Gardens. That's Haley Road that goes back over the railroad tracks, I think. I may be in the wrong area there. Now that I think about it, that's Singer Road, so I am in the wrong area. That's in downtown. All right, so that is a report to keep our eye on. From the Rutherford County Sheriff's Department 21 minutes ago. No injuries reported after high winds, hail, and rain pummeled South Rutherford County. Trees toppled on houses at East and West Calgary, Blackman Road, Luge Court, Cannonwood Court, Old Nashville Highway, and Florence Road, Redfield Drive, and Chadwick Drive. Crews clearing debris. And let me see if I can. Hold on. Copy that video address. So here is video. That's the hail. That's the hail video. Justin? Okay. Lascassas Pike, Jefferson Pike, you said? Okay. Power pole. Gotcha. All right. Thank you for that. Meteorologist Justin Bailey, as he is making his way back into the county, or back into his area, home area. Jefferson Pike closed there in Lascassas. There's a down power line. Middle Tennessee Electric is on the scene. Let me see if that's even popped up yet. Yep, there it is right there. See? There's a report of 2 out, 1 out. So it's not a huge power outage, but it does have Jefferson Pike closed. Okay. So there is that. Still looking for some reports here. Boy, I mean, there was some very large hail today. I need to look at some of my messages. Let's see. My son's mother-in-law driving from Laverne said it took an hour and a half to get there back to Middle Tennessee area. I need to, let me see if I can, trying to figure out how I can. I've got some photos for you. Let me put these in a place where I can show you in the Stewart's Creek area. And let's see, the Sheriff's Department, I think I gave you everything there. No, there's some more. From the National Weather Service, no injuries reported today after high winds, hail, heavy rain swept the area. I did give you those road or trees onto houses: Blackman Road, Luge Court, West Calgary, Cannonwood Estates, or Cannonwood Court, Old Nashville Highway, Florence Road, Redfield Drive, Chadwick Drive. Electric lines fell and blocked roads. Las Casas Baptist Church, that's where Justin was just telling us about. They're working on that. Huntwood Drive, Polk Drive, and Old Nashville Highway and Florence Road. That would be in that area around the Roselawn Memorial Gardens where we saw the large power outage. Emergency crews clearing trees and power lines. Storm shelters are open. So all good there. So we got all of those updates. I'm not sure. Just kind of rolling through to see. Around about 7. No, that couldn't have been 7:30. I'm going to stay away from that one. Have to be careful of, number one, who does this belong to? Number two, is it real? Because unfortunately, this is when people will start sending stuff just to get clicks, you know? Crazy. But anyway. Okay, I think I've gone deep enough there that I would have seen a few things if I needed to bring that to you. Again, if you're just tuning in and saying, man, it's really storming outside, no warnings. No warnings. Except the flash flood warning. I don't want to forget that. Okay. All right. I think we are good there. Don't know that I have any additional updates on Facebook. All right. So let me pull up some photos that were sent to me by my pal, Matt Aaron. I don't know why this never remembers my email. Is that my trying to remember my password? You never have to deal with that, though, I'm sure. It's the best way to display this. I think I'm just going to bring it all over here. Okay. This is in the Stewart's Creek area. So this was near that Blackman Road, okay, as the storm came through. We were talking about that area. It's kind of Blackman, Stewart's Creek, okay. You can see water in the ditch. That may be a small creek, I'm not sure. But look at how high the water is. Man. Let's hop back over and check the Middle Tennessee Electric outage map. Still about where we were. Could take a little bit of time on some of these. 591 though. They keep going down every time we check. So that is good. Here's a look at the radar. Smyrna, Laverne. Finally, this line moving south of downtown Murfreesboro, Rockville, Overall, Lascassas, from a line from Noreen to Lascassas down to south of Murfreesboro, Overall, Rockville. Doesn't mean you're not going to get any rain after that, but this is that line as it pushes on. I can't remember how many watches and warnings we were under today, but it was something else. Today's weather, unfortunately, verified. Not seeing any other photos that I can pass along here to you now. I know one other thing that I do want to do. I want to take a look. Electric. Check in on our friends in North Rutherford County. Oops. So Laverne area, their power comes from Nashville Electric. And we'll just do this together. Look at their power outage map. They have 2,800 without power. So looks like about 128 customers without power in the McFarland and Kidd Road areas. Fan Road, Barronwood Drive. So that is in Laverne. Also, as you cross Murfreesboro Road, there are about 165 customers without power. Hermitage Circle, Valley Forge Court, Jones Mill Road, near Lake Court, Blue Water. And there's one more right there. Lieutenant Frank Walkup Boulevard, Hannah Lee Road, maybe? So that's our hotspots there in Laverne from Nashville Electric. Keep an eye on them. Okay. Not seeing a whole lot extra to pass along to you. So I'm going to take a little time, kind of step back a little bit. We're going to leave the radar going. I'm actually going to put it into motion so you can continue to see the green boxes, the green outlines. Actually, let me do something for those. Maybe not that one. What are those? Flood advisories and flash flood warnings. Okay. I think that's going to be on our severe. Okay. No, it's flashing. I figured out the right one. I think that allows you to, it kind of draws your attention to it, right? So that's why we've got our warnings flashing. Using the Great WeatherWise app, I'm really excited about some of the things that they're doing and whatnot. I think this displays better for you guys who maybe watch on a smaller device. and you can see the areas better. You zoom in and you can see the names better, and you can even see the roads a little bit better too. I think those may still be kind of hard to see, but anyway, you don't care about that. But you can see the flood warning area continuing. One thing that is hard to see on this view is the county line, right? But I'm going to circle our general area, put things into motion for you a little bit. Oops, it did not work. Aha. Thank you, Brent. Yeah, I've actually had some conversations. I mean, they answer emails, you know, weather-wise, and I think some of the things that they're going to incorporate in that, and we're hoping to maybe partner somehow with maybe getting some live cameras and things of that nature in the future. I think they're doing good things, and I sent updates on a few things, and they said, "Wow, I didn't think of that." A lot of times you don't hear back, and I think they're very receptive to that. And the good news about it, I have the plus because I want to do a few more things with it, but the free version, absolutely great. So if you pay for like a radar app, you need to check out WeatherWise. So that is the general Rutherford County area. I need to move the map over to the. Let me move us over here to get you in the overlay a little better because you probably want to see a little further out west. There's not much past all of this. This lets us give you a rough estimate of where Rutherford County is. We're going to do a little radar loop here so you see where things are going. And get you a few live camera looks. I may have to adjust this again in a minute. But anyway, before we end, I'll come back and any new reports. If you just found us today, the Rutherford Weather Channel, somebody here in Rutherford County. I mean, we're still very much. I mean, we learn new things from each stream and try to do better. All we want to do is give you exact Rutherford County, Tennessee specific weather information. And we hope you found today's information helpful. And if you did, you can help us out, helping to grow the channel, to reach more people. The more shares, the likes, the sharing, that puts you out in those algorithms that I know nothing about, but I do know that gets you out more and in front of more local people that may not know about you. So that's a way you can help us out. Like, subscribe, share with anybody in Rutherford County that they can get Rutherford County information here on Rutherford Weather. So let's move you on over here. And of course, I am going to have to move things over. I knew it as soon as I said it a moment ago. I forgot that I had my cameras on that side there. So that's a look in downtown Murfreesboro. That's a look in the Siegel area. You can see that it is still raining, of course. A rough, close estimate of where you can find Rutherford County. And hang in there with us. We're still here. As long as you see the video going, we're still here, keeping an eye on things on Rutherford Weather from our Rutherford Weather studios. Hang tight. Well, apparently my music doesn't work. That little light background music. So okay, that's fine. You'll continue to see the radar here for a minute. Um, Brent also said in Christiana about an inch and a half of rain today. So lots of rain. Thank you, Miss Polly. I'm so glad that you found the weather stream. I have very fond memories of being around the Lufkin family as a kid. All right. Hang tight with us. No warnings. Everything is copacetic here. Just got some rain moving through. We'll see what the National Weather Service is deciding to do. They do have storms out. If you've got friends on the Cumberland Plateau, southeast portions of Middle Tennessee, still very much dealing with the stormy conditions. All right. Checking in. Checking in. Okay, I think for some reason there we are. Ooh, that's loud now. Find the volume. There it is. Gonna take a look at some things. Got the radar still going there for you. Christiana, Fosterville, Bradyville, Reedyville, you're seeing some rain. Some Smyrna, Laverne, more rain coming in from the west, but nothing severe right now. Was able to look back over some text and things of that nature. And I'm going to show them to you. And then we're probably going to call it an evening. Lots of photos, lots of videos. Okay, I think I've got everything pulled in here. Oh, don't need to see that, do we? So we have had some damage in Rutherford County due to storms. We had several tornado warnings. We had several severe thunderstorm warnings. One that had a warning for 3-inch hail. And we definitely saw some big hail today. I'm going to show you this video. South Church Street near the Walmart, Aldi. The water rushing out of it was really pouring. That's some big hail. We don't see that here very often. So our thanks to the person who sent that in to us here this afternoon. And you want to see what it looked like here. So that's 2 hailstones, holding 2 hailstones right there. Look at that. So again, this was in the South Church Street area. Want to thank Craig for sending this video in. Oop, it's going to be sideways for some reason, but maybe hold it right there. This is Wayside Road in Christiana. A big lowering. It kind of flips to the side, but then you can see, and there was lots of motion into that. You can see it definitely turning. It has been some spring, hasn't it? This is a video along I-24. And this was where 24 was blocked. And you can see the tree limbs, and they're working to get those up, but a couple of lanes closed on 24 there. TDOT on the scene. There's the electric department. There are the trees down. So this was 24 right before 8:40. Going to roll through it again just so you can see. Definitely where we had some issues. Polly sent that in. Thank you for that, saying it took about an hour and a half to travel from Laverne to near the Siegel area. Crazy. Yeah, it happened at the absolute worst time, did it not? I mean, it was awful. Here is another hail photo. So what? That looks like kind of hard to tell because there's nothing in to give you reference, but that's at least severe hail. Quarter size hail is 1 inch hail or greater. Now this dude, look at that. That looks like maybe ping pong. And I didn't get the names on all of these, and I apologize. And this was some of the damage that we saw in the Blackman area. Okay. This would have been near Blackman Road. You can see trees down, tree limbs down. There is some minor damage to homes. And when this storm came through, so we're looking for 8:40. So here's 8:40. Here's 8:40. Here's 24. So that was the area where we had the trees down. And it's going to be roughly in, and then here's Murfreesboro Road, past 8:40 in the Florence area. That's where we had lots of power outages. So it is going to be kind of roughly in this area where we had some significant storm reports. We'll continue to look through those. I would think that there may be a National Weather Service survey. It kind of lines up with our tornado warning a little bit. Could just be straight line winds as well. They can do lots of damage, and the winds that we had for sure. So something that the National Weather Service will continue to look at. So there you go. A look at some of our storm aftermath. I think that's going to wrap us up here on the Rutherford Weather Channel. Thank you so much for popping in, rejoining. Sorry that some of that stuff happened, but we learn from every stream that we do, and try to give you the best information we can. We were on 30 minutes before there was the first warning, at least 30 minutes. So, and then we join on radio during any warnings. We were there for like 2.5 hours or so, maybe a little bit longer. So, but that's going to wrap up here tonight. I think all the danger is done. We haven't officially been trimmed back from the tornado watch, but we can always come back if need be. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Got to thank meteorologist Justin Bailey. He was out and about, drove into 2 different counties. Meteorologist Ray Miller, and then for the last little bit, Regina Kroll, for being here on our coverage. And thank you if you were able to like, subscribe, share videos today. That's going to help the Rutherford Weather Channel and hopefully help more folks out there. And I hope you were safe. Hope you don't have any damage. I did take a brief moment a minute ago to let the dogs out and notice that I've got lots of water in the backyard. It's been a while since I've seen the water up as high as it is here. So definitely dealing with all of that. So, but I didn't see any limbs down. I didn't look in the front yard yet. So that's the next thing up. So again, hope you were safe. Hope there was no damage at your place. And thanks for watching Rutherford Weather. RutherfordWX.com. Our website has links to all the socials, YouTube, Facebook, X, Twitch, where we are live during severe and impactful weather. We do updates, especially on YouTube, Facebook, and X. We'll throw those out. We did a video yesterday, as a matter of fact, talking about the threats for today. And boy, did the National Weather Service, Nashville Storm Prediction Center, they kind of nailed today's forecast. So much calmer weather ahead, too, by the way. A little cooler for late May. And for all of our friends in for Spring Fling, you're going to enjoy some nice weather. Next chance of rain is Saturday, but that's not looking like it's going to be anything like today. Maybe not even any severe weather to make note of. Okay, that's it. I said I was going to sign off 3 times, but here we